You toss and turn for hours, staring at the ceiling, and your gut might be the reason why. 90% of serotonin, the chemical that helps regulate your sleep, is produced in the gut. Not in your brain, not in a pill, but right there in the lining of your digestive tract. In this video, we zoom deep inside your gut to reveal how it secretly controls your sleep. Your gut and your brain are constantly talking to each other through a network called the gut-brain axis. This connection runs through the vagus nerve, one of the longest nerves in the human body. Surprisingly, about 80% of those nerve signals travel from the gut up to the brain. Your gut is home to trillions of bacteria that do far more than just help you digest food. Some of these bacteria actually produce chemicals that directly influence how well you sleep at night. Think of your gut as a chemical factory, quietly producing the building blocks of your nightly rest. So what is actually disrupting this gut-sleep connection? Let's zoom in and take a closer look. The first culprit is something called dysbiosis, an imbalance in your gut bacteria community. When harmful bacteria outnumber the good ones, specific bacteria that produce GABA get crowded out. GABA is the calming signal your nervous system needs to quiet down and actually fall asleep. Without enough GABA, your brain simply cannot switch off, no matter how tired you feel. The second culprit runs even deeper, and it is chronic low-grade inflammation inside your gut lining. When the gut is inflamed, it releases signaling proteins that may disrupt how serotonin is made. Remember, serotonin is the starting material your body uses to build melatonin, your sleep hormone. Less serotonin in the gut means less raw material to convert into the melatonin you need at night. Now, here is the third culprit, and this one quietly leaks into your bloodstream. A damaged gut lining can allow bacterial fragments called LPS to slip into the bloodstream. Once in the blood, LPS triggers a whole-body inflammatory response that reaches the brain. Research suggests that elevated LPS in the blood has been linked to reduced deep, restorative sleep. 3 culprits, all starting in your gut, all quietly stealing the sleep your body needs. But here is where it gets really unsettling. Poor sleep makes all 3 of those problems worse. When you sleep poorly, your body releases more cortisol, the stress hormone, by the next morning. Elevated cortisol is linked to a more permeable gut lining, feeding directly into the leaky gut cycle. In other words, a damaged gut steals your sleep, and lost sleep damages your gut even further. Studies indicate that even a few nights of poor sleep can noticeably reduce gut bacteria diversity. Lower diversity means fewer bacteria available to produce the sleep-supporting chemicals your body needs. Here is something most people do not know. Melatonin does far more than just make you feel sleepy. Research indicates that melatonin also acts as an antioxidant, helping protect the gut lining itself. So when your gut cannot make enough melatonin, both your sleep and your gut barrier suffer at once. And the damage does not stop there. Your immune system gets caught in the middle of this breakdown. Research suggests that roughly 70% of your immune system is concentrated in your gut. When sleep is disrupted and the gut is inflamed, that immune layer is left vulnerable and overactive. A disrupted gut microbiome has also been linked to increased feelings of anxiety and low mood. And poor mood, in turn, makes it even harder to fall asleep, completing a vicious cycle. The good news is that research points to 5 approaches that may support the gut-sleep connection. The first approach is feeding the bacteria in your gut that produce GABA naturally. Fermented foods like yogurt and kimchi are rich in live bacteria linked to GABA production in the gut. Certain strains, including some in the Lactobacillus family, have been studied for their GABA output. More GABA in the system may help the nervous system settle down into a deeper, more restful sleep. But GABA is only part of the picture. Let's talk about the raw material for melatonin itself. The second approach focuses on tryptophan, the amino acid your body converts into serotonin. Serotonin is then converted into melatonin by your pineal gland, following your body's light signals. Plant-based foods like pumpkin seeds, lentils, and bananas are naturally rich in tryptophan. Interestingly, a diverse gut microbiome helps convert tryptophan into serotonin more efficiently. The third approach involves a specific type of fiber that feeds your good bacteria directly. This is called prebiotic fiber, and gut bacteria use it as their primary fuel source. When bacteria ferment prebiotic fiber, they produce short-chain fatty acids as a byproduct. These short-chain fatty acids are studied for their role in sealing and strengthening the gut lining. A stronger gut barrier may mean less LPS in the bloodstream and less interference with sleep. Here is something researchers have found surprising. Your gut bacteria actually have their own clock. Like your body, your gut microbiome follows a circadian rhythm, shifting its activity throughout the day. Eating late at night has been studied for its potential to disrupt the microbiome's natural rhythm. Research suggests that aligning meals with daylight hours may help keep the gut clock in sync. A gut microbiome in sync with the body's day-night cycle is better positioned to support restful sleep. The fifth and final approach targets gut inflammation directly, using the power of polyphenols. Polyphenols are plant compounds found in foods like berries, green tea, and olive oil. Studies suggest polyphenols may help quiet the inflammatory signals that interfere with serotonin synthesis. With less gut inflammation, the pathway from tryptophan to serotonin to melatonin can flow more. So let's bring this all together into 5 simple steps you can actually start this week. Step 1. Add 1 serving of fermented food each day to start feeding your GABA-producing bacteria. Think plain yogurt, kefir, or fermented vegetables, simple additions that require no special preparation. Step 2. Try to finish eating at least 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed each night. This gives your gut microbiome time to wind down with your body, rather than working against your sleep. Step 3. Include tryptophan-rich foods in your afternoon or evening meal a few times a week. Pumpkin seeds, chickpeas, and bananas are easy, whole food sources that fit into most diets. Step 4. Swap at least 1 refined snack each day for a fiber-rich whole food instead. Vegetables, legumes, and whole grains are all excellent sources of the prebiotic fiber your gut bacteria love. Step 5. Add polyphenol-rich foods like berries, green tea, or olive oil to your regular routine. If you have ongoing sleep troubles or digestive symptoms, consider discussing these changes with your doctor. Let's take one final look at what we have uncovered inside your gut today. Your gut is not just digesting food. It is producing the very chemicals that determine your sleep quality. GABA, serotonin, and melatonin all trace their origins back to the bacteria living in your digestive tract. Taking care of your gut is one of the most overlooked ways to invest in a genuinely restful night. If this changed how you think about sleep, subscribe for more gut science that actually explains the why.